Alright, it's time for Magic TCG Reddit review. We're just gonna look at all the coolest posts that we have around here. Here's a crazy one. Mark Rosewater wants to know if people would be interested in an Eternal Horizons direct to Legacy without impacting Modern. What are you, nuts? Like, basically all the Commander products are like that right now. So on Blogatog, Mark Rosewater posted someone's question. Modern Horizons opened up a ton of interesting design space. It also kind of broke Modern wide open and led to a lot of bans. Yeah. Is there any plan to make an Eternal Horizons that skips Modern altogether and adds a bunch of power to Legacy and Vintage? Is that something people would want? So, yeah, is that something people would want? I think a lot of the Legacy players, they're now, the Legacy players are making formats without any of those Commander or Modern Horizon sets. They're trying to see what would Legacy look like if it was just genuinely only standard sets. I would have no idea what the power level would be for Legacy. Now, I'm fine with the power level for Modern. I really am. But I have to admit that they really ramped up the power. Like, they pushed the power level of Modern Horizons pretty high. What on earth would the power level be for something that skips Modern, too good for Modern, but okay enough for Legacy? What on earth would that look like? I have no idea. And then we got get the F out of here, Wizards. No to Eternal Horizons. Grasshoppers like Wizards. We can't sell all of our product we have now. We should make more product? Yes, more product. They're going full steam ahead. And the prices of cards are still insanely high. I can see why they would go full steam ahead. Like, there's so many cards that are really expensive. Staples to Commander and even Modern. Shortnator says, aren't that basically broken Commander cards? I know! Like, they already have Eternal Horizons. That already exists. It completely in solid form whenever they print some Commander product. I mean, where did Shardless Agent come from? And then Shardless Agent from those Eternal Horizons sets leaked down into Modern. And then eventually, like, some of this, hey, just like Shardless Agent, some of those super powerful cards that made their way into Legacy will eventually drip into Modern. So, you know, it won't be just for the, it just won't be for the Legacy players. The fact that he even feels the need to ask this question is very concerning. It's certainly not solving any problems. Like, Legacy, I understand Modern. Modern had a lot of problems needed to solve. It was like a super low-to-the-ground format, and there weren't any free spells, and basically, like, there was tons of graveyard and combo decks just going off all over the place. I see how Modern Horizons have helped fix a lot of holes in the old Modern. But I don't see a whole lot of problems with Legacy, and in fact, I feel like the Legacy community would prefer that the format is left untouched. You know, the way I hear from the Legacy community, it's like they wish it was 93-94, that after some certain format, the format didn't evolve anymore, and they can just play the Rug Delver versus Lands match for eternity, to the end of time. I think all of us can agree that Legacy Horizons would be too powerful. Commander Legends and Conspiracy are good enough. Kappa Cannoneer came from Kamigawa Commander into Legacy, so yeah, we have Eternal Horizons already. Well, but that's fair. That's fair game. Anything, oh, Kamigawa Commander. The Commander set, that was an exclusive, was it? I don't remember what this Kappa Cannoneer card was. Anyone remember True Name Nemesis? Oh, I remember True Name Nemesis. It was a hell of a nemesis, and everyone thought that it was just going to destroy the format. And in some way, it did warp it. Megas of the bargain. They already made Eternal Masters, which was a 100% reprint set. The best way to make an Eternal Horizons would be to make something called Commander Horizons. Oh, don't give them ideas, Megas. Don't give them ideas. They'll jump on that immediately. The Commander Horizons set that will fix the problems of Commander, but also can go directly into Legacy. Yeah, Blastoise is basically a double true name Nemesis. Double the trouble. Shortinator, maybe this is about putting eyes on Legacy and Vintage, especially Vintage suffers a lot from being brushed off. It also suffers a lot from being very small, and like the Vintage community is crying about something, and the Wizard's like, ah, shut up. You're playing with the most busted cards. What do you expect? Lose on turn 1 and enjoy your format. Megas of the bargain. I think you mean Commander Legends. Oh yeah, we we have a Commander Legends. What do people think? So now let's see. It wouldn't be a Reddit review without finding out what do people think. So someone somewhat says, as an EDH player, I'd be darkly interested in this. And then we got our next person says, Legacy specifically, hard no. Modern Horizons has done so much damage to the format with no sense of repriving coming. All the cards we get from the rest of the supplemental sets feels like enough. At $4 a pack, sure. And a bunch of people like this. Too many releases. You know, but for Eternal formats, well, at least traditionally, the releases didn't bring a whole lot of cards into the format, but these days they do. Not unless either proxies of inaccessible cards like the OG duels are allowed in tournament play. A set like this wouldn't allow for new players to enter those formats. These formats rely on the reserve list as staples, so it's pretty much impossible for players to get into. See, basically, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, they're basically chirping to the crowd that already plays Legacy. But to be honest, and you guys can, you know, speak to this. There's a lot of Legacy tournaments these days that are proxied. It's just the big open events. The official tournaments don't allow proxies. Dylan says, Jeweled Lotus got an entire meme deck built around it, being an additional 4 Black Lotus for a doubling cube. That's right. I remember there was that one combo deck. Not unless either proxies or inaccessible cards, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the proxies and inaccessible cards. But what does Reddit think? Reddit must have a different opinion about this. Okay, we got Frank the Mighty. Don't Commander products already do that? I suppose the audience would be different. Also, I'd only want this if it's somehow made Legacy affordable, which of course it won't. It will make it more powerful, it will make it more expensive, and it will make it more angry. There are too many releases. Players can't keep up with these weekly spoilers. What if Wizards of the Coast made bigger sets with quarterly releases, so every 3 months we would get a new dump of product? You know what? If they made sets bigger, I think it would make certain cards more expensive because they would just become rare. They would technically become rarer. Like a mythic rare would be like half as scarce, or sorry, half as plentiful. Legacy is an online format now. You know what? There's a lot of people that play Legacy in paper, but proxied, very proxied, but true. It will exist eternally online. Egoish, not sure making Eternal Horizons is worth it until they reprint dual lands in Eternal Masters 2024. Hey, maybe at some point they're just gonna say the proxy cards are illegal and we're only hosting unsanctioned Legacy format, Legacy tournaments. From now on, it's only unsanctioned. Not an official Legacy tournament. Proxies allowed. Yeah, I don't particularly see the audience here unless proxy reserve list cards, particularly duels, are ever accepted in a tournament setting. The audience for this one is going to be artificially limited. You could make a new Eternal format that doesn't include the reserve list, but half of the old Legacy staples would want to play, play have been reprinted into Modern already. Ultimately, there's nothing I can see achieving that a Modern Horizons 3 wouldn't accomplish for a wider audience. The power level of those sets, and Modern in general, is high enough. Here's some proof that it still exists. Lord Magicus, I play paper Legacy with foil merfolk. And in style. Only if they made better dual lands than the originals, therefore solving the reserve list issue. Or you can make them worse. You could do that. Do we really need to make them better? The legendary snow duels. Legendary snow duels are on their way. Just kidding. Since Legacy is so inaccessible and Delver has been the best deck for 10 years, why can't they just unban all the broken stuff and let us go wild? Because people still play Legacy, and especially online. Like, it's still a dedicated hardcore format. A lot of people who are devoted to Legacy still play it, so maybe as an outsider, it looks like, oh, if you want to really play with all the broken stuff, you just go play Vintage. Problem solved. And also, it's accessible online. A Black Lotus is only like, I don't know, 5 or 10 ticks or something like that. Or last I saw, I don't know where Black Lotus is now. I remember it was once like hundreds of dollars, then it crashed to like $3, and who knows where it is right now. But people still play the format. They still like their formats. Bruh moment. Why can't they just reprint reprint dual lands as legendary? They could, actually. It sort of breaks the spirit of the reserve list, though. I mean, they're obviously just reprinting the card. And it would straight up replace all the dual lands in Commander. Just straight up replace. Who knows? Maybe they're waiting for their 50th anniversary to do that. Dustin Barnes, here's a wild idea. Why not just go back to only a handful of competitive formats? All these problems disappear, but not the format. Why not just go back to a handful of competitive formats? I think we do have a handful of competitive formats. I mean, we've got like Pioneer, Modern. Those are the main ones. And then we've got like, you know, whatever, Legacy. Legacy and Vintage are in their own little dark corner. I don't think we have that many although I have to admit, like, I think Pioneer is highly displacing Standard. As is Commander. Magus is like, they aren't gonna reprint the dual lands. They aren't going to make proxy cards legal in a sanctioned format. Oh, well, I said they're going to make it legal in an unsanctioned format. Fetch land, shock lands are the best we are going to get. You can buy a fetch land for under $10 now. You can get your fetch lands. I was looking. There are like a lot of prices of cards have just collapsed in Modern. I used to like it when we got 4 standard sets a year with 1 supplemental set mixed in during the summer. To be honest, I'm totally numb to the set releases. I mean, you guys can give us your opinion on set releases. I know what MTG Gaming Bob is like. It's too much stuff. See, there was a great Reddit post. Let me see if I can find this post. From Saffron Olive, actually, on this topic of too much. Saffron Olive. Yeah, here's the post. Do we see it well? No. Doesn't look good. There we go. I think a lot of our current issues come from Wizards spending the first 27-ish years of Magic training us to care about every product they released, only to spend the last 2 or 3 trying to teach us the opposite. So, like, in the first who knows how many years, they're like, you gotta collect them all, just like Pokemon. Gotta collect them all. Get every set, get every card, get a 4 of, get the foils. And now they're like, well, you can't get every product, so just get the products that you want and ignore the rest. Not 100% sure why a company would want to teach their customers to care less and less often about their product, but it seems like that's where we are. That's why I'm trying to say is that I think a transition from care about everything to pick and choose what you care about and ignore some products is a tough one. Personally, this is not a tough decision for me. I've been living off of this since, Magic has been born. I don't really care for all the products. I'm a person who buys singles. I'm a singles person. So that's probably better known as Saffron Olive. It's not that there's too much stuff. It's that there's too much stuff that's... well, that is a different discussion, Mikey J. That's a different discussion. I think there's a lot of people... I think all the products are successful, but there is too much for the average person to reasonably digest. I don't even look at spoilers anymore, to be honest. I'm just completely numb. If it shows up to me in Modern, then, okay, now I know it's Modern playable. If it doesn't, then I don't know it exists. And I think I've been like that since Kamigawa. I'm looking at old Kamigawa cards for the first time out of nowhere because they show up in some random deck list. Noel, they can't make better dual lands as part of the reserve list. They stated they would not print these cards or any better versions of those on the reserve list. Do you know what? That's actually a misconception. They can print better versions of those cards. the reserve list actually specifies that they cannot print exact copies of cards, because there is 2 times. Can anyone remember what those cards were? There was like a dragon that they reprinted it in perfect exact form. Sorry, not perfect form. In a slightly better form. Yeah, they reprinted one of the reserve list cards. They've done it a few times. Gaming Bob's like, I'm beginning to shift the way I view my approach to MTG purchasing. I'm beginning to shift to an it's okay to skip a lot. I play casually. I don't need to keep up any longer. That's right. All right, as we talk more about this amazing Eternal Horizons format, how do we get to this point? Whatever. We got to do some housekeeping. We got to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Your one-stop shop to get all your paper magic stuff. You need and sealed product. The few times that you go to get it, you want to get the Brothers War? Mishra versus Urza. That's what they probably should have called this. It's Mishra versus Urza. Who's gonna come out on top? Well, spoiler alert, there's a lot of Urza cards in the future and not so many Mishra cards, so probably Mishra kicked the bucket. I actually don't know what the lore is. For all I know, Urza loses. Mishra runs away to another multiverse or something. Yeah, anyway, you can don't forget to get your cards at FusionGamingOnline.com, and when you do, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu. Not only does it support the channel, but it gets you 5% off all your purchases. And we're gonna thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Hey, it's cheaper if you want to play a lot of decks. If you want to play like Burn, Blue-White Control, if you want to play the new hot thing, it's way cheaper. It's cheaper than buying one deck, selling it all back at like a 10-20% loss, and then buying a new one over and over again. For one monthly subscription price, you get to play it all. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10%. Save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_RUE. All right, now we go back to, where were we? Let's get back to the Blogatog. Or do we go back to Saffron Olive? What are you guys up to? Frosty the Ghost Man, I get to show off my new super chats. Moonvale Regent is greater than Rock of Care Reg. There we go. Okay, so this is just a proof that they can print superior cards. Okay, so we got Rock of Care Ridges. You may say, well, this card is garbage. Oh, is this a strict upgrade? Moonvale Regent? Can't remember. Moonvale Regent. Oh yeah, there we go. This is a great example. So we got Rock of Care Ridge. All it is a red 3 generic 3/3 flyer. It's a bird technically. Now maybe this is a dragon, so it's not exactly the same, but I mean it's effectively the same thing for red and 3 generic, but it's a 4/4 flyer and it's got abilities attached to it. Whenever you cast a spell, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each of that spell's colors, and then when Moonvale Regent dies, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Now, I will admit that they're shying away from doing this. They are shying away from making these making improvements to old reserve list cards, but they do this. But there was a absolute clear upgrade. Yeah, there was a dragon that they did. M. Petri says, spoiler season used to be an event, or at least something to look forward to. Now I'm asking, Wizards of the Coast to stop. I have to admit that too. There was a time, especially for Modern, where like, what new playables are we going to get? What can I put in my deck? Is there going to be anything at all? And now these days, it's like tons of playables are just flowing through all the formats. So it's not a question of, are we going to get something? It's how many things are we going to get? Dragon is strictly a better creature type. That is true. They reprinted Juzam Dijin many times, but changed it a little bit and made it way better. Just look at Shieldred. Is Juzam on the reserve list? Juzam Dijin, part of the reserve list. Yeah, and strictly worse. Strictly worse than everything. What a weird reserve list card. Just a 5/5 creature for 4 mana. Well, I guess I stand correct. I thought that was their defense for Jeweled Lotus. It's a common misconception, to be honest. I even thought the same way. I was corrected on my own Coffee and MTG show. But there's actually quite a few. There's some that are. There's one dragon that they printed, and then there is a strictly better dragon. Same stats, just a smidge better. And anyway, yeah. So they can't reprint in perfect form. So in theory, legendary duels are on the table. Will they do it? Probably not, but it's on the table. Apparently there's a Phyrexian sticker, a card called Dragon Engine, and a Phyrexian Dragon Engine that melds with Mishra. Fortunately, we can't live the sticker meld dream. Okay, how did we even get here? Okay, anyway, this is MTG Reddit review, so let's go review some other stuff. So we all agree, Legacy Horizons, bad. Please don't do it. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, yeah! Wait, here's the MTG decks I made while I spent most of 2021 in Harris County Jail. Please refer to post for deck types and other information. Hello, Dad. I'm in jail. And when I'm in jail, we're going to make decks. Look at this. I didn't think this was possible. Oh man, can we see what do we got here? We got Ether Spellbomb. What is that, an Urza deck? We've got... Oh, I can't read this one. Can't read it. Can I move across? Some of these are a little bit blurry. Oh, here's Death Shadow. They're playing Death Shadow in jail. What are some kind of other... I'm surprised they're not playing Mono Red Prison. What else is this? Haste. What is the metagame like in jail? Like, I suspect that they don't have access to the internet. So they gotta, like, the metagame changes when someone new shows up to prison and tells them about all the new cards. And then the old people are like, no, BS. They would never print that. No, they did. They printed the Solitude and Fury. When Modern Horizons came out, everyone must have thought they were lying. Yeah, you can't call a judge in jail. That's okay. So hold on. Initially looked like 6 kilos of coke. They should play Prisontron. They should play Prisontron. They should play Mono Red Prison. They should play Lantern Control. They should play some sort of wall deck. Hold on. Okay, how do I get out of this? They have a bunch of pictures. Okay, so like, well, what else do they have in this metagame? They've got Elementals. Brushfire Elemental. Good God. They have another Death Shadow deck. How many Death Shadow decks do you need here? Overgrown Battlement. So what does that mean? It's a wall deck? Oh, they got a wall deck in there. They should play Death and Taxes. I feel that's just a government deck, if you ask me. What else do they got? Tree Folk. Earthcraft. Oh, they just have Earthcraft. Do they have any... Are these literally 60 card decks? I can't see this being 60 card decks. They all look like 40 card. Mirror-Regery! Today I learned that Merfolk is a very popular archetype in jail. Some people in jail should play Death and Taxes. Damn, you're faster at this comment. I believe having to play against Lantern Control is considered cruel and unusual punishment by the United Nations. Those are the most expensive decks. They cost hard time. You're going to be in there for a while. Merfolk Tier 1 in jail. It's sorry, it's not Mirror-Regery, it's Merfolk-Regery, but they remember more or less that it's 2 and a blue. What is this? Creature, Merfolk. Other Merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, tap or untap target permanent. Alright, close enough. They didn't remember the name, but they remember what it does, which is good enough. Oh, they're gluing it to the back of playing cards. You see that here with the Elvish Clan Caller? Here, there's a 2. There's a 2 of spades behind it. So that's how they're doing it. I guess they're gluing it to the back of, like, regular playing cards. Hey, Warden, my opponent's making up cards. You guys can't prove it one way or another. Wonder what happens. Two people come in with a dispute about, like, a certain oracle text. Every deck has 4 copies of murder. It's a rule. In jail, you have to have all 4 copies of murder. You have to have a, people could build their decks, I guess, based around their crime. If they were, so if you stole, you could have, like, you know, thieving skydiver. What else? You could have thieving skydiver. You can have, okay, let's come up with some suggestions. If you were in jail for robbery, thieving skydiver. We're making prison decks all of a sudden. Blatant thievery. There we go. Maybe this should be a show one day where we just make up decks based on prison terms. Commandeer. I like that. Deck is building itself. Definitely has. This has to be like a commander deck, though. Blue 5 generic. You may remove 2 blue cards from your hand from the game rather than pay Commandeer's mana cost. Gain control of target non-creature spell. You may choose new targets for it. Bribe. Oh, I love it. Bribery. Blue 3 generic. Search target opponent's library for a creature card and put that card into play under your control. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Is there a card called Snatch? There are snatchy-like cards, like Ether Snatch. Blue 4 generic. Gain control of target spell. You may choose new targets for it. Yoink! You were saying? Urborg Repossession? Okay, what about fraud? What are some good cards for fraud? Is there anything like is there any like fraud like stuff here? Oh, I like blackmail. That could be fraud. Well, what does this last card do? Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. You gain 2 life. If the spell was kicked, return another target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Then we got blackmail. Target player reveals their hand. Reveals 3 cards from their hand. You choose one of them. That player discards that card. In addition to killing peasants, punishing subordinates, and raising an army of nightmares, Braid somehow found time for her favorite hobby, petty extortion. Ooh, I like that. Stolen goods. Stolen goods. Blue 3 generic. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying the mana cost. Black market. Keep forgetting this card exists. Black market, black 3 generic enchantment. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on black market at the beginning of her pre-combat main phase. Add black for each charge counter on black market. What does Ledger Shredder have to do with any of these? Just out of curiosity. Ooh, extortion, extortion. You better believe it. The enforcers make no effort to distinguish gold from flesh. Black 3 generic. Look at target player's hand and choose up to 2 cards. Oh, what a beating. That player discards those cards. Petty oh, how did we not... Yes. Petty theft. Blue 1 generic. Fairy rogue. But return target... You has petty theft. Blue 1 generic. Return target non-land permanent opponent controls to its owner's hand. It sounds like flavorfully we should be taking it, but I guess we lose it eventually. Illicit auction. Some of you guys are finding these cards too easily. Illicit auction. Red 3 generic. Choose target creature. Each player may bid life for control of that creature. You begin the beginning at 0. Proceeding in a turn order, each player may top the high bid. The auction ends when the high bid stands. The high bidder loses life equal to the high bid and gains control of that creature. Ooh, steal artifact. You can easily make prison decks Or like Dex for prison. Blue, 2 generic. You control enchanted artifact. Oh, is there a card called this? Criminal Past? Criminal Past. Black, 2 generic. Commander creatures you own have menace, and this creature gets +X/+0, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Let's not forget about murder. There's been a murder, and you're a suspect. Black, 1 generic. Destroy target creature. Pave your path to the throne with yet another body if you must. Saravok. It will make your stolen godhood no less false. Gorian, wise mentor. Oh, Dak Faden. Like the... if anything, some people might be cosplaying as Dak Faden. Whoops, what am I doing? Some people might be... get over here. Dak Faden. How do I spell Dak Faden? I don't know how to spell Dak Faden, apparently. Dak Fade? Is it just Dak? There we go. He had a Y in his name. That's what got me. So Dak Faden, red, 1 generic. They'll cosplay as this guy in jail. Plus, everyone will cosplay as Dak Faden. Oh, you're Dak Faden. I'm also Dak Faden. Nice costume. It's like everyone coming out to be the Joker on Halloween. Whenever there's like a Batman movie that just got released. Yeah, red, 1 generic, 3 loyalty. +1, target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards. It's the ultimate faithless looting. But go -2, gain control of target artifact. Whoop, zoink. And -6, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell targets. Whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more permanents, gain control of those permanents. You just swipe it all. Dylan, thanks so much for the super chat. Thieves Auction. Oh, did we do that one? Oh, no, we didn't. Red, 4 generic. Sorcery. Set aside all cards in play. Starting with you, each player chooses one of the cards set aside and puts it into play tapped under his or her control. Repeat this process until all those cards have been chosen. Okay, maybe we should do something like this. Cards that would see play in prison. If we made a prison deck. Cards that you would see in a zoo. Seems like a Palace Jailer. Oh god. You guys love coming up with cards. I will say that. White, 2 generic for a 2/2 human soldier. When the jailer enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Oh, I am the king now. When Palace Jailer enters the battlefield, exile target a creature an opponent controls until an opponent becomes the monarch. Ah, that's a nice one. I like that. I like that flavor. Guilty conscience. Well, to some people. There's going to be a lot of people in there. I didn't do it. They were caught on camera. And they just blatantly claimed ignorance, and they're still claiming they didn't do it. But some will have a guilty conscience. A white enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, guilty conscience deals that much damage to enchanted creature. It hurts. It hurts. Mirror Reader, apparently. Cards I would see play in jail. Corrupted conscience? Corrupted. Blue, 3 generic, enchant creature. You control enchanted creature, and enchanted creature has infect. Oh, you can only play with cards that are illegal. Oko, Thief of Crowns. The absolute thief. Blue, 1 generic for a 4 loyalty Oko Planeswalker. +2, create food. And target artifact and creatures lose all abilities and become a green elk creature with base power and toughness 3/3 for the +1. Is there such thing as larceny? It's like they went through every single offense you can commit in society and then made a magic card out of it eventually. Black, 3 generic enchantment. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card from his or her hand. You've been caught stealing. That has to be an unglued card. You've been caught stealing. Yeah. No, this is a real card. What the hell? This is a real card. No joke. No cap. Red 1 generic sorcery. Choose one. Threaten the merchant. Each creature blocks this turn if able. Bribe the guards. You create a treasure token for each opponent who has dealt damage this turn. Soul Hunter, thanks so much for the good morning. Good morning to you as well. Uro would be banned because the warden doesn't want their prisoners to Ho ho ho! Yeah, same thing with Croxa. Yeah, they don't want the prisoners to escape. There we go. I'm not very fast with this one. Gleemax is not legal, but it's not banned. It's in some sort of weird place. Oh, crime/punishment. Time to turn our heads around. Alright, hold on. We'll fix it. Crime and punishment. The crime. Put target creature or enchantment card in an opponent's graveyard into play under your control. So you stole! So now is the punishment. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with converted mana cost X or less. Damnation. Sounds more like a Wrath of God thing. Imprisoned in the moon? Blue, 2 generic. Enchant creature, a land, or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent is a colorless land with tap, add colorless mana, and lose all other types. Imprisoned in the moon. Ooh, foul play. Black, 1 generic. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less and investigate. Oh, I like that one. Escape artist. Every so often, people do escape from prison. Sorry, actually, this person's in jail, to be specific, not in prison. So, blue, 1 generic, 1/1. Escape artist is unblockable. Pay a blue, discard a card from your hand. Return escape artist to its owner's hand. Woo, escape. I'm gone. Can't touch this. You guys are just on fire today. Mercurial Pretender. You may have Mercurial Pretender enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature you control, except it gains blue, 2 generic. Return this creature to its owner's hand. You gonna pretend to be somebody else? What is that called when you're impersonating someone else? Identity theft. Well, at least that's the word that I was looking for. Midnight Arsonist. Red 3 generic 3/2. Enters the battlefield, destroy up to X target artifacts without mana abilities, where X is the number of vampires you control. So we can't hit Soul Ring? That's a bunch of crap. Is there actual fraud? Or is it just called fraud is what you're saying? Wow, there is not a magic card called fraud. You're missing out, Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, identity theft. Is there a card? Identity theft? Wouldn't be surprised. No, we don't have one yet. Anyway, okay, well, let's get back to the Reddit thing. So, what does everyone have to say about this person making a bunch of decks in jail? They have a lands deck here, too. You see, they got Merit Lage. Merit Lage, legendary flying, indestructible 2020. Oh, that's the token, I guess. They got the Merit Lage token. They forgot that it's black, too. That might be relevant. Can't just... I don't know. Maybe there's some cards that will buff it up or something. Alright, these are the MTG decks I made while I was in prison. How do you remember exactly all the cards did? Do you have access to the internet in jail? And the guy's just, nope. Had to remember. It isn't that hard, especially if you have played the deck a lot. If you can remember 4 key cards from the deck, then you can just need to sit and think for about a minute and what other cards were interacting with those cards from within that deck. Eventually, more cards will come to you. It was kind of like piecing together a puzzle. I imagine the process of thinking, remembering, creating decks was equally important to you as actually playing them. Yeah, it's gonna keep your sanity to remember your... You gotta... I swear, you better remember your decks if you go to prison, because you might forget it if you stay there long enough. Alright, that was one question. I did a lot of jail time, and we had a guy who would have his girlfriend copy his magic cards on a copier, and she would send them in, and we'd spend all day folding them to get the creases to tear right so it didn't mess up the card, and we would play all day. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's a great way to pass your time by playing Magic in jail. Yes, let me let me remember my 100 cards in EDH. Let's remember the 100 cards in EDH. Bitter Blossom and Lingering Souls destroyed the prison meta because we thought it was 2/2 flyers. Oh yeah, I guess so. Aztec guy, my uncle worked at a prison and we were talking about me donating my bulk to give prisoners a game to learn. But cardboard and prison apparently do not go together, so that was a no. That is bizarre, because they're allowed to, like, wax playing cards. What's wrong with, like, cardboard? What is it, because it's flammable or something? You give those prisoners anything, they're gonna get creative. How do I set this on fire? I don't know, there's probably some other reasons as well. Because they're allowed playing cards in prison. Come on, they play, like, I don't know. They play poker for cigarettes. At least they do in the movies. Raise his hand at prison cafeteria table. Judge? Oh, God. Calling for a judge. The word judge probably is very unnerving to all of them. I want to say first, I posted this months back, and you may remember it if you hang around here a lot. Within something like 5 hours, I got like 5,000 upvotes and a bunch of awards before a power mad moderator shut down the whole thread because of proxies. Oh God, you mentioned proxies in prison, and they shut your like thread down. I was a little bummed because I thought it was cool that something I had done so much. Something I had done caught so much attention, and it was even more dumb because the mods on the Arena Reddit let the post stay. Yeah, somewhere that's where it's not even relevant. As I had posted it there too. Well, whatever. We know that the mods on MTG Reddit have had a history of changing power. Now the most power hungry are gone. Everyone can talk about proxies. Make as many proxy posts as you want. I mean, Mythbusters made a damn crossbow out of a newspaper and underwear elastic. Good God! Is that true? Mythbusters newspaper crossbow. Holy moly! They can make something out of anything. That is nuts. Alright, don't... Okay, wait. If this guy goes to prison, don't give him anything. Don't give him any cardboard. Literally nothing. Just no clothes. Just a stone cement room. And that's it. What's next? We're gonna make a flamethrower out of a bucket of water and a lighter? You never know. You know, never know. Yeah, MacGyver probably did it first. It's science. Just to be mean, imagine being able to use Vandal Blast and you control Mycosynth Lattice. That is mean. It's hardcore mean. Alright, anyway. That's that thing from jail. What else is there? Oh yeah, if anyone doesn't know, Marshall Sutcliffe has like this huge channel where he restores like Rolexes. And it's called oh, what is it called? Wristwatch Revival. That's what it's called. Wristwatch Revival. Just in case you want. If you like wristwatches and stuff, especially the mechanical ones. 491,000 subscribers. You never know what people actually do. And it's really weird. And you know what? I get weird comments on my videos. So it's like, wait, when Marshall Sutcliffe does like commentary for some of the videos on my main channel, I get like questions. Is that the guy from Wristwatch Revival? Like, he is now bigger for wristwatches than he is for Magic the Gathering, hands down. Not even, it's no cap, not even close. He just does wristwatch. He just restores watches and stuff like that. Pocket watches. Really therapeutic too. If you really like his voice, and he's got that radio show voice, can highly recommend. So will you start a channel repairing toasters? No, absolutely not. You will never see me do that. I wonder if there's if the travesty of the 30th MTG anniversary packs are on Reddit. There's definitely a lot of it on YouTube. One day we could, if you want, we could react to some YouTube stuff. Oh, this is interesting. The recent Secret Lair debacle may have caused my bank to reconsider Wizards of the Coast a high-risk merchant. Has anyone else had that problem? I tried purchasing the new Festival in a Box. Yes, I know it's not as good value compared to the previous one. Don't worry, nobody's judging you, man. It's okay. Buy whatever you want. No one... Everyone throws their money away at Wizards of the Coast, so nobody has the right to point fingers. The rest of the box I'll be selling to recoup some of the cost anyway. Now, at checkout, my order attempts failed and got multiple SMS messages that the transaction was declined due to suspected fraud. I've used the same card before to buy Secret Lair, so the transaction wasn't unusual. Called the bank to verify that the transaction was legit and was told that Wizards of the Coast was a high-risk merchant due to reports of fraud. Sounds like they're going to be making Magic cards in jail. They're going to be Wizards of the Coast will be the next person posting messages from jail about all the decks that they make there. I guess tons of people ask for chargebacks from their banks because of the countdown kit. Oh, that's possible. He is not wrong. Yeah, look, look at Elon. He's burning $44 billion on a $9 billion company. Yeah, so we can't judge. We're not going to judge anybody. Can't judge anyone. Whoops. So anyone else get chargebacks? Rudy is hating on the 30th anniversary too. Yeah, that's one product that's getting some pushback. Because if that thing sells well, then there's going to be the $10,000 anniversary product, then the $50,000 anniversary product. I'm telling you, I once filled out a survey from Wizards of the Coast, and it asked me how much money are you spending over the last 6 months of Magic, and I said like $2,000, but that was the lowest I could choose on the poll. It was like multiple choice. It went up to like, I think it went up to like between $35,000 and $50,000. So they know people have money out there. They know a lot of it. PSA from Aztec Guy: waste your hard-earned money on whatever you want. It's your money, except 30th anniversary. If that crap sells out, we're all doomed and overpriced and overprinted shite. Don't buy it. Featuring, oh god. Don't stir things up, dog. Also note that a lot of FUD we are seeing could be a bunch of people who are in a short position on Hasbro, which Bank of America probably is, i.e. they borrowed stock or repay it at a lower price. Yeah, you know what? I found that was a weird take on Bank of America. They should know that Wizards is going to make a ton of money, and they were like trash talking it. I found that was such a weird thing. Personally, it doesn't look like Hasbro's business is doing bad. It's doing well, but they like made a hit piece on Hasbro. And make no mistake, but it's weird for Bank of America to say this. Yeah, so maybe someone has a short position on Hasbro. Oh, polarity. What new one I'm gonna use from here? Has anyone told you look like Steve Terraberry? No. But every so often people say I look like somebody. Maybe if I have glasses on. I don't have glasses on me at the moment. Okay, this one I could see. Oops. Open the link. Just want the picture. Damn it. There we go. What do you guys think? Is it me or not? Can I, like, angle this a little bit better? Nope. Just trying to see if I have, like, something that can... I don't know how to make this work. What do you guys think? Is it a perfect match or what? No way. I think you look like Nikachu. I do look like Nikachu. That much I know. Okay, where the hell did we get from here? Oh yeah, the secret layers. All right, so is anyone else getting chargebacks? So Thrice Grant says, yeah, I filed a chargeback from the last festival in a box. I didn't get the product I paid for, and they took multiple weeks of deliberating whether to fulfill the order or to refund me. I gave them amp notice, and they would be doing the chargeback, and they didn't respond. I agree with your bank. The festival in a box is high risk. I'm just one guy, though. Is he talking about, like, the transaction or, like, the product itself? I'm just one guy, though, which doesn't really mean much. I've never had another problem with a secret lair, but I'm never buying a pricey bundle like this again. Yeah, new secret lair alert. Ah, it's okay. The show can be derailed a million times. It's like the bank is telling you, hey, look, this product is very risky business. You shouldn't invest in this. We're doing you a favor. I'm sure from, like, Wizards of the Coast perspective, they don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. They're getting flooded with transactions, and even if they're being flooded with chargebacks, they're still flooded with transactions. And they're like, this is just a part of their business model now. Especially if it's something that's limited for a limited time. You know, get in your order while you can. So what else do people have to say? Would it be this? Would it be scale fast that caused the problem? I don't know. I have no idea what that means. I like how they're just using these to dump leftover inventory of old commander decks nobody wants. Kyle Driver. Attending MTG Con in Philadelphia. I'm excited to go to a pro tour stop just to see what it's all about. And I've been playing 2 years and have never been to an event. Well, Kyle Driver, I will meet you there because I also plan on going to MTG Con Philadelphia in February. I can't wait to meet all of you guys. Lord Magicus, you better go there. I mean, you're from Philly. I plan to buy the 30th collector edition. Controversial products tend to perform well in hindsight. Okay. Well, especially products that everyone's bashing, like don't buy it, don't buy it. And then if it's low in supply, yeah, it's gonna be worth a lot. It usually means a lot of, hold on, so what is this in regards? It usually means a lot of illegal purchases are made with stolen cards and funds there, not just chargebacks. Oh, that's possible. That's possible. People are trying to, are you trying to tell me that some people are trying to launder money? It's possible. Trying to wash their money into magic cards. I'll make every effort. I don't want to hear your effort. I want to hear that you're going to be there. You're going to be there, damn it. You're going to book off all the time off of work. I went to GB Melbourne during Eldrazi winter and was impressed how few smelly people there were. That all depends on the ventilation, John. I've been to a lot of Grand Prix. Sometimes the ventilation is good. Sometimes it's not. And there's nothing you can do about that. You know, you put even a bunch of clean people in one room. I mean, they're going to be all farty and stuff like that over the course of the day. Okay, considering heads I win, tails you lose took over a year to even get an email that the product was actually shipping. I don't blame your bank. Oh, I forgot about, you know, I had no idea what the controversy was around that. Because I heard about, everyone was talking about heads I win, tails you lose comments on Twitter. I didn't know what any of this was about, but I guess it was that they were finally acknowledging that this product is on the way. Because it just shipped. This is a weird product, right? They first get the orders to find out exactly what the demand is. Then they ship it like months or a year later. Secret layers are very funny. We're very patient in that way, I guess. They know that we're patient. I was at a PTQ one time and the body odor was awful. It's all in the ventilation. It's all in the ventilation. You can judge a local game store by their ventilation. My buddy's email said it won't be shipped till November 24th. Ugh, that's the worst time to be shipped. This is like, you know, the Christmas season. Anyway, all right. So some banks now look at Wizards of the Coast as a high-risk problem. All right, what else do we got here? I accidentally touched some weird oil I found. Well, why are you touching weird oil you found? Probably nothing. They got a tattoo. What is this, Phyrexian? I can't read. It's some sort of Elvish. I can't. Sorry, it's some sort of Phyrexian. I can't read it. And then, like, completed Gandalf says, "There are few who can." Boulder with the super chat. To be honest, Nikachu, you look a lot like this guy, Jonathan Zacek. He went pro with Merfolk in 2017. It was pretty dope. Okay, that person I do look like. Every so often, I'll get a comment in my YouTube channel comment section like, hey, you look like this guy from this movie. You look like this guy from this show. I look them all up. It always makes me look them up. I have to. Can anyone read the I'd have no idea. It says, it says reading the card explains the card. That would be very funny if that's actually true. May not be able to play the main event. All right, well, hey, going is better than nothing at all. It's too bad if you can't play the main, though. I ordered a Street Fighter Secret Lair, and it took my Secret Lair like 4 months to get here. It was brutal. Oh, but that's normal. The whole point of the Secret Lairs, like in the old days, they try to anticipate the demand of the product. So what they do is they make a big order for the product, and then hopefully they sell as much as they can to meet demand. But there's two problems. If there's more demand than there is for the product, then you make people angry. And then if you make too much product, then you have a bunch of leftover inventory. So what they do now is they make these secret lairs. They first ask you, buy it first. And then after they know the full number of people that want to buy it, then they make it. And then they meet exactly demand, and there's no leftover wasted product. Not that it'd be really wasted, I mean. They just put in a warehouse or something and make a 50th anniversary thing out of it. Dragon Shield, special Magic TCG giveaway. I am a user of Dragon Shield products, I have to say myself. I love the Dragon Shields. Greeting, Planeswalkers! We're back with another Our Magic Dragon Shield giveaway. Since Christmas festivities are right around the corner, let me tell you, dragons love Christmas. Well, thanks for letting us know. I never knew that. They love capitalism, then. It's basically what it is. Capitalism, the holiday. We thought we'd do something different this time. We love you. We would like you to surprise a friend with a special customized gift straight from our forge. Now you have the power to design sleeves. Now have the power to design sleeves opposite of you. This may be the perfect opportunity to get back at that friend who always gets a turn 1 soul ring. How to enter. Create an awesome image/meme for a friend you play Magic with, any size. Share the image as a comment on this thread. All right. We're going to judge. We're going to judge the memes. All right. What do we got? Okay, we got this windfall thing. Blue to generic. Do you think in 10 years we will still be playing Commander? And the other person says, in general or specifically this game? By the way, it's still your turn, Steve. Okay, funny or not? What do we got? This is like the new form of shred or ship or shred it. Shruncher says capitalism requires a cash flow while dragons prefer to stockpile their money. That's actually quite true. Yeah, dwarven cash flow. Okay, Mikey J says pass. Beanpot says 5 out of 10. Well, we need a pass here. General Waifu likes it. Seems like something Commander players would find funny. Pass. Or sorry, it's a ship or shred it sort of deal. Would be funnier without the last sentence. Oh, you mean like, do you think in 10 years we will still be playing Commander and then it's just blank here? That would be funny, wouldn't it? It's like, you know what? It's like you're trying to engage conversation with someone at the table, but they're just deep in thought. They don't even hear you. Mid joke is mid. I can tell it's a joke, but I didn't laugh. All right, so well, it sounds like it's like really okay. We'll give it this. That's what it's worth. Oh, damn it. We didn't get to go through many of them. I want to go through at least one more. Is this really... This is not even a joke. I'm going to fail this one. It's just a Minotaur. I want a meme. Oh, there we go. Okay, how are we judging this one? How are we judging Yargle here? It's perfect art. This is like a sketch of an eyewitness of Yargle before he ate somebody and ran. Jacob says, if you can spend thousands of dollars on MTG cards, then you can do the same with hygiene products. You don't have to go that far. $1,000 on hygiene products. Ship it. It's beautiful. Ship it. Yargle, best boy. Okay, sweet. I also approve of this card, so maybe, I don't know, maybe we can make a show out of this. How many of the memes do they have here? No, they do. Actually, yeah, we could do a ship or shred on this thing on Monday. I think this thing seems like a great idea. All right, but anyway, it's gonna be it for Coffee and MTG today. Thanks for joining me. I had a lot of fun. Hope you had a lot of fun. I think we should go 2 thumbs down on that Eternal Horizons. What do you say? That's what I say. Anyway, we do this Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, so be there or be square. Of course, thank you very much for all the super chats, everyone who's become a member. By the way, I'm re-advertising my Patreon. For some reason, everyone has no problem joining Patreon, but no one wants to really become a member on YouTube. I mean, I do have members. Thank you very much, everyone who's become a member. But the moment I slightly announce my Patreon, boom, tons of people start flooding it. That is in the description. I guess a lot of people are already supporting other people on Patreon. They just want to keep all the payments on one, on one site. That's all good. Support me however you want. Some people still support me on Twitch, but thank you very much for you guys for showing up. Without your commentary, I would be nothing. I would be a nobody. I'd be reading all this stuff. Hey, is that funny? Just no one says anything, no one laughs. It would just be sad. So as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, coffee crew. And we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.